A moment I couldn't resist. Our secret night. It started like any other evening. The soft hum of the city outside my window, the flickering candlelight reflecting off the glass of wine in my hand, and my mind drifting to places it shouldn't have gone. He wasn't mine to love, at least not in the way my heart secretly craved. He was charming, confident, and had this way of making me laugh, even when I didn't want to. He was my husband's best friend, the man who always knew what to say when things got too quiet between me and my spouse. I didn't plan for it to happen, but sometimes the heart breaks the rules. That night, we were alone after a small gathering at my house. My husband had left for a work trip, trusting me like he always did. But something was different. The air between us felt heavier, charged with electricity neither of us could deny anymore. I don't know if it was the wine or the loneliness, maybe both, but my hand brushed his as we cleaned up, and the warmth of his skin sent shivers through my body. Our eyes locked, and without a single word, I knew we were both standing on the edge of something dangerous and beautiful. I leaned closer, inhaling his scent, my heart pounding louder than the rain tapping on the window. "We shouldn't," I whispered. But his fingers curled under my chin, lifting my face to his, and in that moment, I didn't care about should or shouldn't, I only cared about feeling. Before I could stop myself, I sank to my knees, tracing my fingers along his thighs, my lips grazing the soft skin above his beltline. His breath hitched, his hand tangling in my hair, and I knew there was no turning back. This wasn't just lust, it was the release of every bottled-up desire we had hidden behind polite smiles and innocent conversations. What followed was more than passion. It was the kind of intimacy that feels like a secret language, spoken only in sighs, kisses, and the gentle pull of hands longing to hold on to something forbidden yet irresistible. When it was over, we lay together in silence, the storm outside matching the storm inside us. There was guilt, yes, but there was also something neither of us could name. Was it love, or just a moment of weakness? I still don't know, but I do know that night changed me forever, because sometimes, the most unforgettable love stories are the ones we're never supposed to write. It was supposed to be a simple dinner, friends gathering, laughter echoing through the house, wine glasses clinking as conversations flowed. But beneath the surface, there was always something between us. A quiet tension, a glance that lingered too long, a fleeting touch that burned far more than it should have. He was my husband's closest friend, the man who always smiled a little softer when I spoke, who noticed things my own husband had long stopped seeing, the way I twirled my hair when I was nervous, the quiet sigh I let out when I thought no one was listening. That night, after everyone left and the house stood still, it was just the two of us, standing too close, talking too softly, hearts pounding under the weight of unspoken truths. The rain outside cast shadows across the room, and the candlelight flickered between us like a secret daring to be told. Do you ever wonder what it would feel like? I don't know why I said it. Maybe the wine had loosened my lips, or maybe the loneliness had finally cracked open my careful walls. His eyes darkened, not with surprise, but with understanding, as if he'd been wondering the same thing for far too long. I stepped toward him, my breath hitching, my fingers trembling as they reached for his shirt. "We can't," he whispered, but his hands were already on my waist, pulling me closer. The air between us grew thick, every breath shared, every heartbeat synced. I sank to my knees, my hands tracing the line of his belt, my lips brushing the skin just above it. He shivered beneath my touch, his fingers sliding into my hair, guiding me gently but firmly. This wasn't just desire, this was years of silent longing, exploding in a moment we couldn't stop. His body responded to me like it had been waiting for this, and I gave myself fully to the moment, every kiss and every touch laced with the hunger we had both denied. It wasn't rushed. It was slow, worshipful, the kind of intimacy that steals your breath and leaves your soul exposed. Afterward, we lay on the living room floor, the storm outside matching the storm within us. My head rested on his chest, listening to the wild rhythm of his heart. Neither of us spoke, because words felt too fragile for what we had done. Was it love, or simply a desperate need to feel alive again? I don't know, and maybe I never will. But I do know that night, for the first time in years, I felt truly seen, truly wanted, truly desired. And even if the morning brought regret, that night belonged to us, a secret we would carry forever, a story written in the dark, where forbidden love burns the brightest.